What is up, guys? It's Doodoo Poker here, back for another video. Today we're going to be talking about the king's power in 3-bet pots. If I asked you a question, what do you think is the highest barreled turn card in a 3-bet pot? What would your answer be? Let's look at a spot. Cutoff. We're on the button, okay? Doesn't matter what we have. We have a range. We decide to 3-bet. We're on the button. Cutoff calls. Flop comes Jack 2-2. Okay? Let's say the cutoff checks. We know this is a range bet, right? Okay. Let's say we range 50% pot. Okay? Solver's mostly going 50. We decide to go 50. Now, if I put a turn out, what turn card would you say is the highest barreled turn card? Well, kind of tipped my hand a little bit, but it is the king, the almighty king. The king has special power in the 3-bet pot, okay? Look how often we are betting the king on the turn. We range flop, right? So we're basically, for all intents and purposes, getting to the river with our whole pre-flop range. Think about that for a second. We're ranging flop for bet 50, right? On the turn, we're betting 89% of our range. Okay, so the only hands that don't really want to bet are 10s and 9s. Okay? Everything else wants to bet. So what does that mean? Well, that means we get to the river with our entire 3-bet pre-flop range. Okay? So, we have to think like a solver here. Why does a solver bet pocket 7s? Why does a solver bet no equity ace 5? What is the purpose of this? Well, let's look at cutoff and see what 7s is folding out. If I bet 7s on the turn, right, I'm folding out 8s, 9s, 10s, okay? But I'm also getting called by worse hand, ace queen suited. So, when we think about what our double barreling hands are, we have to think about all possible rivers, okay? So let's say I didn't know about these non-intuitive double barrels. I didn't realize that King X was almost a range bet on the turn. Let's just say I did the intuitive ones. So I barrel my ace queen because I picked up equity, my flush draws, you know, my queen 10, okay? So let's see what happens here. Let's say I barrel my queen 10, okay? Say the river comes an ace. River comes an ace. Now I have no bluffs. Now I have no bluffs if I just bet my hands that picked up equity, right? Because my queen 10 got there, my ace 10 got there, right? My ace queen got there, okay? So what we do is we barrel the low pocket pairs so we always have bluffs on any river, okay? Because the solver is omniscient. It can see everything. It knows it barrels 7s and 6s because it's bluffing a Broadway river. It's bluffing a queen. It's bluffing a 10. It's bluffing an ace, okay? Now, if I switch the ace, because remember, we have basically our whole pre-flop range here on the river. Let's say a blank comes. Now, what do I bluff? I check back my 6s and 7s because I'm ahead of ace queen. But now my bluffs come from ace queen suited, queen 10 suited, ace x suited. So we have to understand the power of the king in the 3-bet pot, because the king as a good heuristic for a 3-bet pot, when the king comes on the turn, it's a very high frequency bet, okay? Just so you know, because of the ace-king advantage we have, when the king comes on the turn, very high frequency bet, almost a range bet, okay? But we need to barrel these low hands and these ace-x hands. These are very important for the river play, okay? Because we're already thinking to the next street. We need to barrel the ace-5 and the ace-4 so we can bluff on a queen, on a 10, okay? We need those bluffs. We also need to barrel the 7 and the 6s because when an ace comes, we need to barrel and bluff, okay? So you need bluffs for every run out. This is why on the turn, you basically range bet, okay? So, in conclusion, the power of the king. When the king comes on the turn, high frequency bet. We barrel a lot of non-intuitive hands so that we have bluffs on the river. All right, guys, this is a cutoff first button 3-bet spot. Wanted to show you this because I thought it was a good example of when you barrel non-equity hands because of potential rivers, right? So we're already thinking to the river when we barrel the turn. We're already thinking about possible rivers, okay? Please subscribe if you have not yet, and I will be making a new video every day at 9 a.m., and I will see you in the next one. Take care.